Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 16th to the 30th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Pisces, November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And then let's see your chakra energy for this time. Pisces, November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. So we have here visualization. This is the third eye chakra. Excuse me. We have dreams, the third eye chakra, coming through again, which I love for you, Pisces. This is exciting. And then we have divine wisdom, which completely makes sense. And this is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. Now we're going to see how this correlates to the tarot. The left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we have the 6 of water, the 6 of cups, the 3 of cups, the moon, which is you, Pisces, shining through. Oh, wow. And the 6 of earth. Oh, wow. Okay. This is an intense time. I'm not going to lie to you at all. The 2 of cups, the the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is, I think I said the Six of Earth. Then this is also the Six of Pentacles. You have the 10 of Swords, and you have Aquarius shining through. The Star card, Aquarius, time frame January 20th to February 18th. 4 of Earth, 2 of Earth, 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. Queen of Air, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The 8 of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm excited. I am excited. So you have the soul star chakra, and then you have the third eye chakra. We start off with visualization. Visualization is different than daydreaming, but they're both very important. I do believe the more I work with the cards, the more I work with the chakra energy, what we visualize, what we imagine for ourselves is so terribly important. So we have visualization here. And visualization is active daydreaming. You know, it's sitting back and it's saying, the first place I can conquer anything is within my mind, is within in my head. And the cool thing about our minds, well, the terrifying and the cool thing about our minds is that we don't have to live it in order for it to be real to us. So our minds do not know the difference between visualization, between daydreaming, and what we are doing in the real world. They're both equally as real to our minds. That's how we can get really involved in stories so easily, because they become real to us, because our minds see them as real. So here, with the visualization, this is seeing yourself entering into a world that you need to be in. It's like, this is where I need to be, body, mind, spirit, and self. This is what I want from my life. Now, does the world kind of combat you and say, well, look at all your failures before, and look at all the doubts and the fears that you have? Yes, it does. And we see that very, very, very distinctly in your inner self. You have this sense of embracing the true essence of you, and then you have the fear that comes, that goes, I can't do this, right? And so here, it's like, yes, you can, but you have to keep on visualizing, because it's kind of like the mindful intention before you start to do something. It's not kind of like, it is the mindful intention before you start to do something, before you start to move forward. And as you visualize, you become. As you open up your eyes, you see things more clearly, more powerfully, and more honestly within you. And that's super cool. It's the first step. It's the first step. And the difference between visualization and daydreaming, we don't have the intention to act upon it. We can kind of stumble into that because it becomes such a part of ourselves and such a way that we define ourselves that we start to live those dreams. But the visualization, okay, the mindfulness, that is saying, okay, listen, this is what I want from my life. And I see it within my mind's eye. I see me moving forward this way. And instead of all the doubt and the fear and the baggage that I have, coming in and kind of like dumping all over my dreams, I'm seeing myself walk forward bravely, boldly, and powerfully to have the life that I want. And once you start seeing it within your mind, it will bring up first a lot of the doubts and the fears that you have. Whether it be that you visualize being in a beautiful relationship, or, having the career that you've always wanted, or moving house, or this or that. You then start to see everything that you fear when it comes to that elevation of self. And then once you work through that fear, you can write it all out. You can kind of talk to somebody about it, a healer, a counselor, whomever. And then you start to work through those fears and get yourself first in your mind to be able to have the life that you want. And then once you have conquered that within your mind, you start to bring it into reality. And that's when your dreams become part of your day-to-day life. And your dreams are also saying here that your angels, your spirit guides, will talk to you in your dreams, guide you forward. Now, if you're like me and you don't remember your dreams, that's totally okay, right? It's not going to be a big deal, because you're still having those conversations. You're still breaking down those barriers. You're still moving yourself forward. And what you're doing now is you're seeing a lot of answers in your dreams, okay? Waking up with certain knowledge. And you might not sit there and think, oh, this is part of my dream, but while you're taking a shower in the morning or while you're brushing your teeth, ideas start coming to you. And it's remembering in those moments where your mind is just a little bit on motor memory, okay? You start to move forward. You start to see the wisdom given to you in your dreams coming forward into your life. And that's going to be, that's really exciting, especially for you, Pisces, because your card is the moon, all right? And you come through in the major arcana right here. You come through in the power of yourself, and there's wisdom, and there's a sense of the darkness before the dawn coming in, and there's a sense of, excuse me, of finally it is my time to start embracing what I want, what I desire, what I need. And this brings you to divine wisdom. This brings you to a sense of healing. This brings you to a sense of guidance. This brings you to what is more as you look at you, because you're conquering your fears. And you have this divine wisdom that guides you forward. This sense of, oh, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is the wisdom that is part of me. And as this divine wisdom comes forward, as the soul star, as the healing starts, you are empowered by you. You are emboldened by you. And you start to see yourself breaking out of certain habits, certain, it's our coping mechanisms. You start looking at them and saying, well, is this helping me or is this hindering me? How do I want to move forward? Where is it that I want to be within my life, within my soul, within myself? And then it really does lead you to a facing of a lot of things that have held you back. And they settle around your heart, Pisces, because you have such an extraordinary heart. It's just part of you. And so where other people can kind of like water off a duck's back, you don't do that. You take it in, and it sits over your heart. Now this can make you astounding. This can make you the type of person that has a childlike glee to them, and children feel very safe with, because you know a lot, but you've also kept your brilliance. Okay, and that I think is absolutely beautiful. This can also make you an astounding artist, okay? Or just astounding in whatever form of career that you have, because you take on and you internalize so much, and you can feel, okay, you have an innate empathic mentality, innate empathic energy to you that you are pulling forward, and that is really guiding you to something more. And so here, this is a time where you learn this passion, where you are expelling, okay, these doubts, these fears, this anger, this upset, this vampiric energy from your life. And it's from the public arena. It's what's kept you small. Okay, before I go into this, because I'm just too excited about it, because I love this. Let's see here. Pisces. Who will be aiding Pisces November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces? November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. Who will be aiding Pisces November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. Now, I have to say here, what Spirit said as I was shuffling these cards is it's not necessary, like let's say we come up with a certain energy, a Libra energy. It's not necessarily that a Libra themselves will be leading you forward. It's somebody who is discerning within the energy that they let into their lives. It's somebody who tries to be very just, very fair, very balanced. That's the sort of energy that will be leading you forward. So here, what Spirit is saying is that, don't look at it like it has to be one certain sign, a water sign energy or not a water sign energy, but it's a person with a deep heart. So here, it's a little bit abstract, the way Spirit is showing it, but it is going to ring a lot more true for you. So we have here the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right, this is somebody who is very grounded, very centered, can see the interconnectedness of things profoundly and truthfully. And I do apologize about my dog. And who is moving you forward towards more. It's like this person sits there and kind of has this plan. Now, earth sign energies can be very rigid. They can be, because they look at the earth. And the thing is, sometimes you and earth sign energies, like you guys need each other, right? Because the water molds a path through the earth. And that's just what you do. But the earth can be unyielding at times, okay? Very hard. And also the water, like, just think of it if you've ever lived in a really dry climate, all right? And just think of it when it rains. And yeah, the earth can't absorb the water as quickly as the water comes down. So there's going to be a sense where you might butt heads with this person because you're coming to things from a very kind of fluid, emotional, emotional place. And they're coming to things with a very practical, this is what needs to be done. This is how you need to go about it. These are the tools. But you're actually going to find that this energy really helps you to move forward. You're sitting there and you're like, oh, I didn't see those connections. And even though you're not always going to see eye to eye with this person, because who do we always see eye to eye with, really? We even disagree with ourselves, given enough time. You're going to find that you are moving a path forward and you are embracing a truth that guides you. And this person is really going to help you see it. And it's going to help you have the prosperity, kind of have the bountiful table that you desire. And it leads you to the Queen of Earth. Now, the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this can be one person right here, okay, who has a connection with the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. This could be two different people, but they play off each other really, really well. All right? And I'm seeing here a man and a woman, but I'm seeing here an energy that is rather nurturing and an energy that is rather, well, you'll learn through doing it type of thing. Well, you'll know not to touch the stove because you've just burnt your hand type of mentality, which sounds a little harsh and it shouldn't be the stove. It's like the kettle. You'll learn not to touch the hot kettle by feeling that it's hot, and then the lesson sticks. And so here, this is that earth energy that's grounding you, that's moving you forward, that's opening up doors, that's showing you a practical depth to reality, which at times, Pisces, you can overlook. You just can. Anybody who comes from a place of emotions and dreams and ideas can overlook the practicality. It's kind of like air sign and earth sign energy. They can play off each other and kind of see where each other is coming from. Air sign and water sign energy can play off each other and see where each other is coming from a lot more easily. And then we have here the Prince of Cups. This is water sign energy, so you are very attracted to this energy. This person fills your cup. This person moves forward and is a warrior of the heart, the soul, the self, and makes you feel very comfortable. It's like, wow, okay, I get it. I see it. And they move slowly and steadily forward. But you're represented, okay, in the minor arcana by the Knight of Cups, by the Prince of Cups. So here you're very used to moving forward slowly and steadily. Other signs, you move quicker than the earth sign energy, right? You move slower than fire sign or air sign energy. So people could be sitting there and it's like, oh my gosh, Pisces, just let's go for it. But here you're surrounding yourself with the energy that slowly and steadily builds something magnificent. And we have here the Six of Water coming forward. And the thing with the Six of Water is that it brings us to nostalgia. You have to understand that you are going to be rather nostalgic during this time. And nostalgia is always painted one or two ways. It's either so much better than it actually was, or it's so much worse than it actually was. And here, it's kind of like, I need to find the truth. I need to balance, stabilize, and steady myself so that I can move forward towards what I love, what I want, and what I desire. And as you're looking at things, she's sitting here, she's looking into the water, and it's like a water nymph is looking back at her. It's not her true reflection. So that's what you have to be mindful of. You have to be mindful of almost the siren's call of the past. And the past is a tempting thing. So we have two ways that we as human beings cope. We either look towards the future and we say, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much better. I just can't wait, right? Or we look towards the past and we're like, wow, it was so much better. Or, it was so hard, but we can't get out of the past. And sometimes we can't get out of the future because it's just such a beautiful daydream. It's just such a beautiful dream where you get everything that you want and, everything just falls in place perfectly. And the past, it can be that you remember, when everything fell into place perfectly, but you can also remember when everything didn't. And so those two get amplified. And what we forget is the present. And the Six of Water. And you have the repeat of the number 6 here, which is actually really cool because 6 is the most healing, the most cleansing, the most nurturing of all the numbers. And as you are embracing this journey and as you're moving forward, you need this nurturing energy around you. You need to know that you are moving forward in success. And that's definitely a part of you during this time. But looking backwards, is just not going to be the answer. It's just not. And sitting here and seeing the truth of what you desire. But also, if you do a meditative energy, a meditative connection right now, and you just visualize yourself, a simple little meditation of visualizing yourself as you are right now, either sitting down, kneeling down, however it is that you want to be, with your arms open. And you hear this laughter of a child, and you start to smile. Because, when children laugh, when children start to laugh, you just start to smile because there's such an innocent joy to it. It's the purity, of the ringing of the bowl. And all of a sudden, you as a child, run up to you as an adult. And you take that child and you just scoop them up in your arms. Absolutely, you hold them to you. And that child laughs and snuggles into your shoulder and is just so happy to see you. There's such joy and bliss and trust there. Why? Because you whisper into that child's ear. You whisper into your ear. I will always be here for you. I will always believe in you. And I will always move you forward. And as you do this, you are empowered and you are emboldened. Because so much of the pain and the hurt that we carry forward into our lives, that we carry into adulthood, is done when we're children. And it's so interesting that people say, oh, children are resilient. It's like, yeah, children are resilient, but so much of what we deal with as adults come to us as children. So yes, we make it through, but how much does it break us? And so here, it's looking at that. It's looking at the shattered places. And it's saying, I'm protecting you now. And it's not going back in time. It's just knowing that you're connecting with that inner child. You're healing. There's a forgiveness. There's a grace. There's a sitting there and saying you're perfect. Not that you'll do everything right, but you were created in the eyes of perfection. And so there's this beauty, there's this peace, there's this glory within you. And you are embracing it. And it leads you to the Three of Cups. And the way I see the Three of Cups is kind of different than everybody else. But the Three of Cups for me is that person that said, I'm celebrating you. I'm raising my glass to you. I'm so happy for you. And then they betray you. And that's the worst sort of betrayal. But that's usually how betrayal comes. It's like, I believe in you. I'm there for you. I love you. I accept you. Or they're supposed to love you and accept you. This could be a parent that you never got on with. And you sit there and you wonder why. But you can look back and you're like, I didn't like you when I was 5. And you didn't like me. And that's kind of rude, type of thing. And it's a scar that lasts. It is just a scar that lasts. So here with the Three of Cups, we look at those people who betrayed us. It could be parents, it could be grandparents, it could be teachers, it could be, aunts and uncles, it could be siblings, it could be lovers that we've had, or, first boyfriend, girlfriends, first couples, partners that we've had that absolutely broke our hearts. And we shudder. We feel rejected. And here's the thing with the human spirit. There's only so much rejection that we take before we think, why even try? I'm just going to fail again. And that's something, because you internalize it. This is all water leading up to you. This is all your heart. This is all your element leading up to you. And there's a sense of, why even try? I'm just going to fail again. I'm just going to let everybody down. I'm not going to be able to move forward. And people say, Dane, why do you say the negative? Because if the negative rings true to you, then that's where we have to start fixing it, right? So here, it's looking at it, and it's looking at that hurt, that pain, and the disappointment. And we put it in the back recesses of our mind. And we sit there and we say, oh, this is such shame. I'm not going to look at it. This is weakness. It's not. It's your heart. Heart is not weakness. We are emotional beings. That's how I see us. And as emotional beings, we have to connect. We have to connect with our hearts, or else we miss everything. And that's part of the moon. That's part of the shadowed self. The nighttime is when, what do people say? Like, nothing good happens at night, right? Or at those hours, nothing good happens. It's usually at night. We're afraid of the night. We're sight hunters. We are designed to be afraid of the night. Okay, we are an apex sight hunter. The only being on this earth that is a better sight hunter than us are our birds of prey. Okay, that's the only one that beats us. And so here, when the lights are turned off, or when they're diminished, when you only have the light of the moon, you can become scared. Because what is the light of the moon? It's the reflection of the sun. You only have the reflective light of the day. So you only have the memory of the day to guide you forward. But this isn't true. What you have here is a realm of shadows. What you have here is a realm that is colored differently, is shaded differently than you would color the day. Because the day is more light. But if you have too much light, it blinds. If you have too much darkness, it takes away all seeing. So either way, you cannot see. And so here, when we have the moon coming forward, and we look at ourselves, and we look at our souls, and we look at what we desire, there's an opening. There's an opening of the shadows. And it's like, this is what I fear. It's primordial, okay? It's handed down from your ancestors. It's like, this is how they survived. But they didn't expect our world to be what it is now. So a lot of the survival instincts that we have, the sense of being part of a group, the sense of, of wanting to belong type of thing, that was made for a clan, a tribe of at least 50 people, like at most 50 people. It wasn't meant for the whole entire world. And so if you try to please the whole entire world, heck, if you try to please 50 people, you'll drive yourself crazy. So here, for you, Pisces, it is a look at fear and doubt. It's a look at the chaos of the world. And it's a saying, I'm stepping back. It's not for me. And you might sit there and say, Dean, what the heck are you talking about? It's a connecting with your heart, your soul. Pisces, that's how you embrace greatness. That's how you move forward in greatness. It's not everybody else's words. It's not everybody else's desires. It's yours. It's looking at the shadows. And instead of seeing monsters, or if you see monsters, it's creating stories off of them. It's taking ownership of the monsters. And you start moving forward in a way that is astounding. And then you see shadows for what they are. You let your eyes adjust. You sit there and you say, this is a different world than the world of the day. The day, the day is so much easier to define because it's so much easier to see. The night, well, the night can be sacred. The night is when sacred rituals happens. The night is when lovers come together more often than in the daytime. And so it is sacred. And it is beautiful because it is. And it has that energy to it. It's not only terrible, because plenty of terrible things happen when the sun is up. And instead of being afraid of what cannot be seen, it is embracing the sacredness. Because if you embrace the sacredness of you, Pisces, all of a sudden the world opens up. And you have to say, things need to be balanced. A give and a take. Because if all the pentacles were on one antler of this stag, the deer would fall over. He would not be able to walk. Stags represent majesty. You are embracing your majesty, and you are balancing what the world demands of you with majesty and determination of soul. Your heart is healing. Why? Because you yourself are healing. This is Healing Beautiful Love. This is the Minor Arcana Lovers card. You move forward in love. You move forward in passion. You move forward in connection. And it embraces. Because lovers, we think of lovers and we think of sexual partners, right? But lovers do not have to be that. Lovers of life. This is connecting you with, your sacred masculine, your sacred feminine aspects, connecting you with that power, moving you forward in love. This is connecting you with a healing. This is connecting you with people who amplify the love that you have within your life, within your soul, within yourself. And it moves you forward in a way that isn't anticipated, in a way that is extraordinary. And it brings you to the Queen of Fire. It brings you to the light, illuminating your heart chakra. Okay, you are illuminating your heart. And it comes here with forgiveness, right? It comes here with a deeper connection to your soul and to yourself and to what you desire. There's passion here. What is your reason for getting out of bed in the morning? Sometimes it's, I have to. If I didn't have to, I'd sleep all day, right? Especially now with the world being topsy-turvy and schedules being off and things being weird, you could sit there and say, well, I could do all my work at night. That might be good for you and it might not be. But you are illuminating your heart, your soul, and your passion, and you are moving forward. This is your reason for being. Okay? These are your responsibilities. These are your joys, your passions, your desires. And it opens you. It opens you in a way to being this Queen of Fire, to rolling up your sleeves, to saying, this is what I want for my life. This is what I need. This is what I'm going after. And it brings almost like the brakes on. It's like you're all ready to go. You're all revving to go. And all of a sudden, it's like, no. Because the Ten of Swords It's when the mind comes in. And our mind can play tricks on us. Our mind can make us doubt everything. And the Ten of Swords is our worries, our doubts, and our fears. It's apprehension, it's upset. This is the darkness before the dawn. And how I've come to see the Ten of Swords is each year you get a sword stabbed into you. Some years they're little tiny daggers. Some years they're big whopping swords. And it's a lesson. Because swords, even now, to have a proper well-made sword, they're expensive. And so here, and in the ancient world, okay, back not too long ago in our history, they were expensive, and they're what people lived and died by. And so here, to have a wealth in your back, quite literally, because in the Rider-Waite Smith deck, this is a person laying prostrate on the ground with 10 swords stabbed into them. It's overkill, okay? You could be very much too much in your own head, overthinking, overanalyzing, overplaying things, and it's telling you you have a wealth of knowledge. It's time to turn knowledge into wisdom, and it's time to rise. This is my Minor Arcana Death card. It's a resurrection of soul and of self. It's sitting there and seeing what you have learned, and instead of saying, well, I've learned nothing, it's saying, wow, there's a lot here, and there's a lot more here than I had ever thought there was. And now I move forward in passion, in truth, in understanding, in what I desire. And it brings you to your star. The star card now, yes, this is Aquarius energy, but the star card, okay, so if you're born on the cusp, Spirit is just saying here, if you're born on the cusp with Aquarius, it shines through even more. The star is saying to look at the highest form of man's perfection. If you've ever driven out into the desert or into a forest, okay, and found a clearing in the forest, or just looked up in the desert, and you see the stars without light pollution. Because we as human beings, we ward off the darkness, because again, sight hunters, we don't like it. It makes us feel vulnerable, it makes us feel weak. And here, with the star, you're looking up at the highest form of man's perfection. You're looking at what people charted their paths by. And if you look up at all the stars that you can see in the sky, it's astounding. It's astounding that they named them, that they made constellations, that every single culture looked at the stars and saw something perfect that could never be sullied, but also never truly be attained. And as you move forward towards what you desire, what you want, it's your dreams. It's not the dreams that you wish upon a star for, which sounds like they would be, but they're the dreams deep down in your soul. They're the dreams that construct pyramids. Okay, and the pyramids were constructed, some say, I believe it's a well-known theory, to the constellations, right? To the stars. And here, it's like this is your world. It's like you are building a pyramid within your world, your soul, yourself, that's aligning with your stars, your truth, your power, your understanding. And divinity is hearing your soul's wish, is hearing the deepest recesses of your soul and bringing it forward. Now, you might not even know what it is that you truly want. You might sit there and say, well, I want to be rich. Okay, so boil that down. You want security. You want stability. You want freedom of movement, right? So that's what money brings. And so you might be finding that you're getting that, but not in the form of money, okay? Because Spirit sees things, interprets them, and gives them to us differently than we ourselves have imagined. And then it brings you here to the Four of Earth. There is vampiric energy around you. There are people who are siphoning off your blessings, your prosperity, your beauty, okay, your bounty. Now, this could be from when you were little. This could be from now. But there are people, who have seen you and have said, this is a wealth of energy that I desire. And so you can get to a certain point, but you always find yourself falling back. Now, is it because of somebody else? Well, we can argue, no, it's not. It's the fact that we ourselves stop. But once we look at this vampiric energy, once we look at the seeds that were planted, because pentacles are also seeds, right? Once we look at the seeds that are planted within our minds that say, oh, you're just not good enough. You can never move forward this way. You will never achieve what you desire. It's the negativity that takes away the beauty, the prosperity, and the bounty of our light, of our love, of ourselves. And it's saying, no, you do not get to define me like this. And you'll find that you hold on to sometimes the wrong things, because it's easier. It's like, okay, this is where I can move myself forward. But where you really want to move yourself forward, there's so much doubt, there's so much fear that it's like, I can't move past this. What you do right now is just visualize yourself floating in nothingness, and then visualize your angels wrapping their wings around you, right? And you're protected, and you just sit there for a moment in your angel cocoon, connecting with you. And you have the light of the universe come around you. Through the shell of your angel cocoon, you have your angel's hands placed over yours, and you are holding this beautiful flaming sword, and you cut through the light of the universe, and you are again in nothingness. And just take in that nothingness for a moment. You might say, Dane, why are we cutting through the light of the universe? Well, because the light of the universe brings also corruption with it every single day, because there's so much going on. So sitting in silence, connecting simply with your heartbeat, simply with your breath, connects you with you. And as you're connecting with you, you're seeing an empowerment. You're seeing a sense of, oh, this is what I want. And then the light comes back around you, shielding you, having this fiery truth to it. But this time it's without the sewer sludge connections of despair, of despondency, of heartbreak, of pain, of disappointment, of what other people want, of what other people need. And so you stand a little bit taller. You hold your head up high, and you say, I'm walking forward in my truth, not in their truth. And then you start seeing that you can lead yourself forward with the fact that your angels are protecting you to what it is that you truly desire, not what it is you feel like you have to hold on to because you're about to lose everything. Everything's going to fall apart. It's like, no, I know what it is that I want. And then you find yourself balancing what it is that you desire, what it is that you need. Okay, the spiritual and the practical, what everybody wants from you and what you want from you. But you have to remember to balance yourself. If you forget about you, everything falls apart. It brings you to the Queen, to the Queen of Air. And the Queen of Air, you just grab this for you. The Queen of Air is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's a sense of knowing your mind, of knowing what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, you need, and you long for. And the Queen of Air is the warrior queen. So I love it that you have the queen that takes no nonsense, fiery, passionate, truthful, determined. And the queen who is, again, truthful. There's a sense of them knowing their truth. And there's a sense here just with the monarchy within the tarot. They know their truth. They know what they've built their lives upon, right? And you're cutting through doubts and fears. You're moving forward in passion in what you desire. So air feeds fire, right? Without air, fire goes out. So this is your truth, what you desire, what you want. Now, air can also extinguish fire. If you sit there and think it out too much, you might find that you don't move forward because, you've thought it through too much. And so here, it's not making thoughts your aim. It's like the Kipling poem, right? If you can think and not make thoughts your master. If you can dream and not make dreams your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. So that's the poem If, which is one of my favorite poems. You find yourself moving forward in power. You find yourself cutting through doubts and fears, burning down what stands in your way. It's not destroying. It's saying, I need to move forward and not have all the muck and the mire. Because the thing is, and I know that, right now we're having, especially in the United States, fires that are intense that we've had in the world. But the thing is that you want to have controlled fires in forests because it clears out the underbrush that builds up and builds up and builds up. And if you just let it build up all the time, okay, it becomes bad. It becomes bad for the forest. You don't have the new growth coming through and everything like that. So here, it is a sense of your knowledge and your passion, burning away what has built up around you, what is keeping it hard for you to move forward in truth, in understanding, in passion, in power, in grace. And so here, you start seeing things more openly, more honestly. You start connecting, and you cut through the doubts and the fears. And it leads you to seeing your hard work pay off. It leads you to seeing that all the sacrifices, all the heartbreak, the pain, the disappointment, the upset, the upheaval, there was a reason for it. And you see your hard work. You see your goals coming forward. Let's go deeper. Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. And then let's look at the people you need to be mindful of, the energy you need to be mindful of. Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay, these two. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. We start off with the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups you're going to be very drawn to because, again, water sign energy calls to water sign energy. But this is a person who is way too self-absorbed, who doesn't understand that they rule just themselves. Because that's the thing with the King of Cups. When he's at his best, you understand that you rule just yourself. And you do so, you try to do so with dignity and grace and power and understanding. The King of Cups here is angry, upset, chaotic, kind of just spewing emotion, and will definitely take you down with them because they don't see that they're doing it. It's kind of like, yeah, they just are trying to hold on to some sort of life raft, and they don't see that they're bringing themselves down and others. And they might very well have a very big dog, because you can see right back here this beautiful Irish Wolfhound. It brings you then to the Princess of Swords. This is a person who likes to gather up information, right? The King of Cups, this is somebody who's too chaotic within their emotions. The Princess of Swords is a gossip who likes to gather up the information for when it can best suit them, and then they'll betray you. And then we have Justice. I believe Spirit mentioned earlier Justice. Okay? And this is a person who is being too black and too white. You know, it's kind of like white page, black print. It has to be the letter of the law. It has to be just like this. They're not seeing the greater emotion, the greater knowledge of what's around them. And you can't be this rigid. You just can't, Pisces. This isn't going to jive with you, especially during this time, especially during this enlightenment and empowerment and just exquisiteness that is around you. You can't be rigid, and you don't want to be in this rigid, it's kind of like my way or the highway type of thing, type of energy. You're crowned with the Sun, the Ten of Cups, and the Emperor, the Four of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Fool. The Knight of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. So I love that you have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Those are the best tens, the best completions of a cycle that you can have. As you release yourself from the past and the future, as you embrace the now, And you look at the hurt, the pain, the disappointment that you've been carrying with you. And you say, no, you don't get to define me. You have the sun. You have the happiest card in the whole entire deck come forward. And you have the sunlight come around you. You have joy and prosperity and success and bounty being a part of you. And it moves you. It moves you, you yourself, Pisces, to and they all live happily ever after. To beauty and bounty and prosperity and success and wonderment. To a sense of, I get to have what makes my soul, myself happy. What brings me forward. And then you have the Emperor. As you find your balance, you claim your throne. And you say, you know what? I've fallen, I failed, but so has everybody else. And I claim my throne, my brilliance, my power, my truth. And I move forward in it. Because I get to rule my life. Nobody can rule my life better than me. And then as you heal and you embrace your passion, divinity is saying, keep your eyes open for a gift that will be easily overlooked. Here, I mean, this is a beautiful scene. Right here, this beautiful bird skimming over the water coming up like sparkling sunlight. And you have him not even seeing the dragonfly by him, but he's looking off, morose and upset, looking at what he has, but doesn't want, or isn't moving him forward in the way that he wants it. Okay, the way that he needs. Divinity is handing you a gift of inspiration, of beauty, of understanding, of power. And it's going to be easily overlooked because it's not what you're expecting, it's not what you're thinking about, but it is what you need. It brings you then to the Six of Spells, the Six of Pentacles, no, the Six of Wands, over the 10 of Swords. It's like, look at the positive, look at the wonderment in the world. Start to build yourself up. And we see the Six of Wands in one of two ways. Well, in one way, it's the boss that you have in your life, right? And it's you being the boss of your life. Are you going to be the boss that nobody wants to work for, that puts you down, that you're never good enough for? Or the boss that builds you up, that sits there and inspires and leads with just beauty and inspiration and power and grace? And you're seeing this. And it's like, am I going to see the wonderment in my world? Or am I going to see, it's like, oh my gosh, a baby dragon. Or is it going to be, oh my gosh, a baby dragon? Like, what the heck's going to happen now? How are you moving forward? Because life is filled with surprises that we cannot prepare for, but come our way anyway. It's time to start celebrating your successes, celebrating, when you do things right, instead of saying, well, I did that kind of right, but I did this wrong, and I can't believe that I messed up, and blah, 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 blah. We go off on ourselves, and it is blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like the peanuts and the wah, 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 wah. You look at things, and it's like, am I going to be knocked down and keep on knocking myself down? Or am I going to start building myself up and calling myself out when I do not move forward in gratitude and grace for my existence? And it brings you to a whole new journey. It brings you to the Fool's journey. I love the white stag right here. It's the white heart. You move forward into your desires, into what you dream of. And people will sit there and say, oh my gosh, you're foolish. So what? So what if your dreams are not like theirs? They do not have to be. This is your life. It is not their life. And as you embrace your star's wish, as you embrace deeper hopes, deeper passions, as divinity connects with you and you connect with divinity, you move forward in a way you didn't expect. And it brings you to being the seeker, okay, of your heart. It brings you. To you being the knight of your heart, your soul, and yourself. Of you bringing forward the music that you need within this world. Of you kind of singing your own song and moving forward in your truth. That's as you release the vampiric energy and you find your balance. It then brings you to the Weaver of Spells, to the Queen of Wands, over the Queen of Swords. It's like your passion and your knowledge come together, and you move yourself forward to grace, to beauty, to truth, to power, to understanding. And you have a very secret feminine energy around you. Utilize it. It then brings you to the 10 of Pentacles. It brings you to a wealth that lasts for generations. It doesn't have to be money. We always think of wealth that lasts generations, of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to leave an inheritance. It's like, no, it might not be that at all. It might be the way that you inspire others that goes down the generations, that inspires, that keeps on inspiring people. It can be little conversations that have a big impact. And that's what you've been building. You've been building prosperity and wealth. And it comes sometimes in the most remarkable but exquisite ways. Let's see your spirit animal. What your spirit animals have to say for this time. Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. November 16th to the 30th, 2020 Pisces. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. There we go. So we have here the Flamingo Spirit. Embrace the in-between. Embrace the practical world and the spiritual world. Embrace the in-between of your life, of your existence, of yourself. It's not always going to be known. And there are always going to be more shades of gray than you realize. As you embrace the in-between, also embrace the energy that is around you. And be very mindful of the energy that you take in. Because a lot more often than not, you're going to be internalizing it, and it's going to be radiating outward from you. Because remember, flamingos, white birds. But because of the fish that they eat, they turn pink. So because of what you put into your body, it affects the energy that people see around you. It can be the food that you put into your body. It can be the drink that you put into the body. It can be, the energy that you're surrounding yourself with that seeps into the body. You're very sensitive to it during this time. And you're very sensitive to it, period, Pisces. A lot of people just tune out that sensitivity and become what the world wants them to be. You're embracing it, and you're honing yourself to the emotional vibration of your world. It brings you to the otter spirit. It says, you are never alone. And I love it that they have one otter here and one otter here making this heart. You are never alone. And you are being moved towards what you love, what you desire, and what your heart calls for. It brings you then to the frog spirit. Now I forget, it's not an anagram. It's when the letters spell out a word. And it's frog, fully rely on God, or spirit, or divinity, but to make the word frog, it's God. And it says clear out the clutter. Clear out the clutter and start relying upon divinity. Start calling on the God's head that lives within you. Start embracing this grace, this power. Because remember, Rama said, I hide the God's head within man, because there you will never look for it. In the Bible it says, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, the kingdom of heaven is yours. It's like the smallest thing. When you start having this faith within yourself, within your soul, and then you start to see that there's true power within you, then the God's head starts to be awakened within you, within what you desire. And you start to open up to it. You start to open up to you. And its power and its brilliance and its truth. And it's more than you expected. But no less than you need. It brings you forward to your subconscious spirit animal message, which says the abundant universe will provide. We have a mentality of lack in this world. It's like, oh, there isn't enough. There is enough. There is. There are forces in the world that try to make us think that there isn't, but there is enough. And so here, it's knowing that there is enough to move forward in success, in prosperity, in bounty, in brilliance. That there is enough to carry you forward in ways that were once unknown, or laughed at, or mocked at. It brings you then to your subconscious chakra message, which is clarity. The third eye for you is opening up in a way that is profound. Okay, you're very connected here with the high priestess energy. Okay, again, with the sacred feminine energy, more quiet, more subdued, more pulled back, but brilliant, profound. it brings you clarity. It can also be overwhelming, but it brings you clarity that is astounding. If you need Spirit to kind of dial it back a bit, because it's intense in this reading, most definitely, then talk to Spirit and say, I need you to pull it back so that I can ignite myself forward, so that I can move forward in truth and understanding and not be so overwhelmed. It then brings you to your subconscious person message, which is the Prince of Swords. Okay, air sign energy, moving forward, passion, knowledge, truth. This is being the White Knight. Okay, I love fairy tales, and I always think of Disney's Sleeping Beauty. Just, Prince Charming coming in, slaying the dragon, cutting through the brambles, awakening Sleeping Beauty when the White Knight comes. When the night comes. And this is something more. This is something more than simply, a Disney happily ever after tale. This is the subconscious self. This is you being a hero of your story. And you come through and you cut through the brambles. Okay? You cut through the thorns that poison. The poison bits of information of this earth that poison the heart, poison the soul, cannot move you forward. Right? And then you slay the dragon. And what are dragons? But beings that guard what we most value. Because what the heck? Why would a dragon want a maiden? Why would a dragon want a pile of gold? What are they going to do with it? They take what we as human beings most value and lock it away from us. So you slay that dragon, you cut through the brambles, and you go to the princess. So the knight is the male, the princess is the female. The knight is the sacred masculine, the princess is the sacred feminine, and you awaken that sacred feminine within you. You don't always have to be the warrior 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even though the world kind of tells you that you do. You don't. And you awaken a powerful, beautiful truth that now gets to thrive within you as the sacred masculine thrives within you. And you move forward, changing the story and embracing your might. It then brings you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Six of Fire, the Six of Wands. It is time to celebrate yourself. It is time, because it moves you forward in a way that is astounding. Instead of looking at you and seeing all the mistakes, all the reasons why you should fail, okay, everything that you don't do well enough, see what you do well. See the beauty, see the brilliance, see the power that is a part of you. And let that rise you to new heights, to new confidence, to new assurity of your power and your greatness. And then it brings you to your subconscious. It brings you deeper into your subconscious message. And you become the seeker of challenges with the white raven on your shield, which says, trust the magic within. Okay? And here, this is the Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay? You are embracing your truth. You are cutting through doubts, fears, angers, upsets. And you are being the knight, the defender of what you desire. It's, again, the Knight of Swords coming forward. And it's you being the hero of your story. And saying, you know what, screw everything else. I am moving forward in my truth. Well, this was a pleasure to bring you, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated for you, or resonated with you. I bring you nothing, and I send you nothing, but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. And may you always see the blessings that divinity brings you. Okay. I'm definitely sending healing energy your way. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the truth of ourselves. Okay, as you, Pisces, open up the door and say, this is me, loud and proud. As you step into the world of your existence, and instead of seeing all your gifts as something to be ashamed of or something that isn't mainstream and like everybody else, you stand in proud. You stand in pride in yourself. You stand with pride as you move forward, celebrating who you are, what you desire, and the beauty of the world that is coming forward into your life. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces.